It's another fabulous day out at the creek, and I'm going to be doing some prospecting. I'm in a new little spot, trying to find a good place to dig, seeing if we can find some gold. So let's get everything set up and start doing some test pans. All right, so here's where I'm going to start out prospecting. And over here looks like a good place to set up a sluicing dam. There's a lot of gravels up there. I'm standing on a little gravel bar right here for me to check. I don't know, these gravels are pretty loose. A little too easy to dig. So I'm not so sure about this spot. Now what we got here is a really tiny gold, and not that much of it. I mean, several pieces, but super small. So let's try another pan. All right, so did a test pan there, did a test pan there, got almost nothing. So I moved to the other side of the creek where there's all this erosion, and right underneath the erosion, some decent sized gravels. So I did one pan from there, and it's nothing crazy, but it's a pretty decent spec count, and there's a few decent sized ones. Actually, there's, man, 50 colors in that pan right there. They're small, but definitely warrants more investigation right in here, that's for sure. So today I'm just going to be speed panning, and I've panned through one bucket so far, and wow, you can't even hardly tell, but I mean, there's a lot of small colors there. And once again, I'm not going to be cleaning this up out here. I'm going to snuff her up a little bit. I'm going to save all the black sand and run it through the cleanup at home. So this is about how much black sand that I'm getting per bucket. So not very much. So I should be able to fill this thing up to the brim, and then that'll be what I take home, is these black sand concentrates. Check that out. I just got done panning through bucket number 3. There's a couple decent flakes in there. And focus, a lot of really small finds, but a couple decent flakes. Not bad. All right, Flower Gold Wizards is one of my favorite channels, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. Got it. Well, we just hit clay. That's what I'm talking about. We're on it now. All right, it's noon, and I'm gonna go ahead and move on, because I mean, that's not looking too great for 4 buckets, but what about this right here? What's that look like? I mean, that is a straight up ball of mercury. A ball of liquid mercury. Watch. Forms right back into a ball. Look at that, right there. Balls of mercury. I mean, there's a lot of mercury here. Watch. Oh. Oh, where'd it go? Right there. Man. I don't want a bunch of that stuff. I mean, there's gold in here, but let's see. For 4 buckets, I don't know. That ain't 4 buckets to me. So we're gonna move on. Try to find something different. Now maybe I'm a little bit spoiled from the honey holes that I found recently, but I ran 4 buckets and I barely have enough to weigh, and I'm getting puddles of mercury. So that's not ideal. So I'm gonna pack up, I'm gonna move on and see if I can find another spot. And when I have this much black sand, it's really hard to make the gold sink all the way. So, I mean, I'm gonna lose some gold no matter what. When there's this much black sand, it's just too hard to get the gold to sink. So you're gonna lose something, regardless. Oh, I just saw a piece almost float over the edge. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Well, that's all right. I mean, you lose a little gold. Everybody loses a little gold. 100% capture rate is not a thing. Oh, there's a piece right there already. Got some decent sized flakes over here, and over here I got more of that very, very tiny stuff. So I found me another little spot, and once again it's downstream from a fallen tree. So that seems to be a pretty solid pattern. Once again, a fantastic speck count. Really fine gold. But this looks like a pretty good spot for sure. All right, that's about all I can handle for the day. And so I'm going to clean everything up and go home, clean up the gold, and see how much we got. One thing I'm finding with this cleanup sluice is it's hard to see any gold in here. Even though I know there's gold. There was a piece right there, but it just worked its way underneath the black sand. I don't know, I'm not seeing much of any gold in here right now. I mean, there's one right there flopping around, getting buried. Can't even see it now, but it's in there. Is that one right there? There you go. Yeah, you really can't see much of it though, because I mean it's so small. All the gold's really small. All right, everything's been run, and I only see one piece of gold, so that's kind of crazy. Hopefully there's a lot more in there. All right, because of the amalgam, it's going to be hard to guess. I'm going to guess 0.1. .11. Man, I'm getting good at this. Guessing stuff. That's not terrible, but God, it's just all amalgam. All right, let's check on the 2022 total. Take those two off. I put that mercury gold in a separate jar. So 4.49 plus 1.11 is 5.50. All right, so we got 5.50 for the year. I mean, it doesn't even look like gold, does it? That's crazy. Well, that's definitely the most mercury I've ever found since I started gold mining. Those crazy old timers, they just dumped mercury right in the creek, and it's still there to this day. But only 16% of my views come from subscribers, so if you could help me out with that, that'd be great. But I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.